Welcome everyone! In this video, we are in the Great League, showcasing some more fun battles featuring Medicham! Medicham on a slightly modified version of Team Number 1 from my top 5 best teams for the Great League. And for those of you that may recall, Team Number 1 actually had Lickitung as the normal type, but yeah, Lickitung has seen better days. And also on this team, as I mentioned, on a slightly modified version of Team Number 1 is good old Galarian Stunfisk on the safe swap. G-Fisk is a very solid and powerful safe swap, even at a type disadvantage. And also on this team, we've got Noctowl replacing Lickitung. Lickitung, as I mentioned, has seen better days, unfortunately. There are just too many Noctowls. There are just too many Noctowls. Lickitung has been struggling this season, so we are rolling with Noctowl. Of course, to cover Medicham's weakness of Ghost-type damage, works wonders for Trevenant and Sableye. And before we get into the featured set of the video, I'm going to start things off with some bonus battles that I thought were a lot of fun. Here we go. Galvantula, not the best lead. Of course, with that bug typing, they are resisting our fast move pressure. But we are Medicham at the end of the day. We are overpowered. So we're going to tank that neutral lunge and look to pressure with an ice punch. And they do shield, so they did get the debuff. They didn't really need to shield that. So what we're going to try to do is catch the next lunge, and I think they got a refund there, guys. I know the refunds are supposed to have been fixed, but I think they got a refund. But they go Energy Ball. Very odd. That is definitely a choice. Energy Ball. Very interesting. But they do come in with a Azumarill, so gonna go for the EQ there, and they shield. Very interesting. So far, very interesting plays from our opponent. Gonna fire back with yet another EQ, and shields are down as they have expended all of their shields. That does some nice chip damage on this Azumarill here. And gonna look to go for EQ number 3. This will not KO, as Azumarill is about as tanky as it gets, but it does get it quite low. And I do believe, yeah, we let this go. And what we're gonna look to do is, knowing that shields are down, we're gonna take that to the bank and look to farm this Azu all the way down with resisted counters. Gonna shield up whatever this is. It is an Ice Beam. And they don't allow us to farm down. They make an aggressive play into a G-Fisk. So gonna just put the pressure on. Knowing that we have a Noctowl in the back, we have to put in as much work as we possibly can with our low health Medicham here. We are forced to shield Rock Slides because we are getting quite low. We just want to get in as much of this super effective counter damage as possible and throw on the CMP tie, just to ensure that we get as many of those counters in as possible. And holy smokes, Medicham has put in the work. And we don't have to be concerned about that Galvantula with our Noctowl, guys, because they revealed the moveset. And I think they know that because they are staying in, allowing us to farm this G-Fisk down. That is unfortunate for that Galvantula. My goodness. Imagine being an electric type and not being able to apply any charge move pressure to any flyer in this meta. They tried to do the old switcheroo, not falling for that. I had a feeling they were going to do that. They were thinking long and hard. I saw right through that. They tried to pull the old switcheroo. We're saying bye-bye to the Galvantula, courtesy of our Noctowl. And just like that, Noctowl has closed the game strong. Good game, well played. Always have a fun time whenever I get to run Medicham. I really wish I could run it a lot more, but here we go. Medicham lead. They make a play into a Charizard in its shadow form, so we know that this thing is about as squishy as it gets. So we're going to put the pressure on with a neutral Ice Punch. Would be doing a lot, and we grab an early shield. Now we're going to make a play into our G-Fisk, and we have to play very carefully. This is a big bait game. We had a feeling it could have been a Dragon Claw, but you never know. They might try to throw you a curveball and go right for that Blast Burn. So we do go for the Rock Slide. One Rock Slide will KO for sure. So all we have to do is trigger that CMP tie. Even if this is a Dragon Claw, it does not matter. It is well worth the shield to get rid of this annoying Charizard. We do get to this Rock Slide, which means we are saying bye-bye to the Charizard. And just like that, G-Fisk has flip switch. You'd love to see it. They are absolutely going to come back in with that Medicham. So this is fine. We can still do some big damage with our Earthquake. Does a little over 50% of the Medicham's health. They're going to go Ice Punch there. That is fine. We do live that. And we will get this EQ off. Shields are down on both ends. And yeah, that did big damage. Very nice for us. And not sure what else they could have in the back. I have a feeling it's another flying type. So we're actually going to come in with our Medicham for this mirror matchup here. Soak whatever this is. It's a Psychic, of course. And they aggro swap into a Noctowl of their own. Glad we read the team accurately. I had a strong feeling that there was something like a Noctowl, maybe an Altaria in the back. And it is a Noctowl, so... very close. This is going to be a very close game here. We just trade Sky Attacks until one of us is gone. That is basically how this goes. And hope like heck that we can get to a move and take out that Medicham with our own Medicham, as we are going to play this out. If they take us out, that would be great as well, because that would put us that much further ahead on energy up against that Medicham. So it's a race. Who's going to go down first? They go down first. We survive. Hang on by a thread and hope like heck that we can take this thing out with an Ice Punch here. They are now into the red. I had a strong feeling it wouldn't quite KO. It does not, but one counter does the trick, and Medicham edges out the opposing Medicham to close the game strong. That's going to be a good game. Well played. Oh, those mirror matches are always a war of attrition, a game of inches. We got that one done in the end. Here we go. Shadow Gliscor. Not the best lead, but we can absolutely fight back with double super effective Ice Punches. That's the beauty of Medicham. Being able to fight back against flying types with Ice Punch is quite nice, which is why it is consistently ranked in the top 5 every season of Go Battle League. And we tried to catch a move, but they held on to that energy for dear life. They have a loaded energy, and we come in with our Noctowl trying to catch, but they don't. And they meet us, with a Wall Rain. They do tank our Sky Attack, and we're going to tank their Icicle Spear, and they go right for their second Icicle Spear. I thought for sure they would farm down and allow us to pressure them, but no, they take us right out. They're not messing around, and neither are we. I do believe we shield this. No, we let this go. Yeah, we're going to put the hope and faith into G-Fisk. We do get that full farm down. We load up on energy. Not going to throw that. Going to bank that, and they've got a Registeel in the back. So all of a sudden, this is looking pretty good for us here. So I have a feeling they're going to want to hang on to that shield. So we have no problem going right for that big EQ. And we will absolutely shield up this Focus Blast. The win condition lies with G-Fisk. We've got to put in work with it. Our Medicham is quite low. We do still have a move stored, and we do get that full farm down. That was massive for us, because the play here now is to pressure that final shield. We know that Shadow Gliscor is a little bit on the squishy side in the Great League format. And we have to make a call here. Have to call this. We called it correctly. It was the big EQ. That was their win con. The win con for them was us no shielding an EQ. We correctly shielded. And they now have to shield our Rock Slide. And we go for the combo play. We stored that Ice Punch, which means that we are saying bye-bye to the Gliscor. Oh my goodness. Medicham coming in clutch in the end, taking out the Gliscor, courtesy of an Ice Punch. Good game, well played. Man, having the right moveset on Medi really saved the day in that last one, allowing us to take the game in the end. And here we go. A Jumpluff Shadow on the lead here. Again, why Ice Punch is absolutely 100% the way to go in the Open Great League. You can really put the pressure on these flyers, especially if the Ice Punch is double super effective. We do get a shield, and we tried to catch yet again. Not doing so hot on our catch attempts, but that is fine. We have the shield advantage, and they have an Azu here. So gonna just go straight EQ. Not likely that they shield this Azumarill whatsoever, as it is likely their tank that they choose to no shield. So we will shield, though. However, we will shield up the Hydro Pump, because if we can align our Noctowl onto that Jumpluff, we may be in a good spot here. Gonna go for yet another EQ, and they do let it go. So yeah, they are preserving that shield for whatever they have left. We know that they have a Jumpluff. We definitely don't need an EQ. We thoroughly outpaced this Azumarill. We're going for the Rock Slide, and we are taking out the Azumarill. Now, they do come back in with the Jumpluff. They did store a lot of energy. Everything hits for neutral here. It is the Energy Ball. Energy Ball hits for neutral. If it were Acrobatics, that would be resisted, of course. Does big damage, and they come in with a Sableye, so just going to throw that. It chips a little bit, and now it is Noctowl time. They have locked their Sableye in, not knowing what we have in the back, and this is why we have Noctowl on this team, to protect Medicham from these very strong and powerful ghost types like Sableye. They let our Sky Attack through. Gonna shield up the return and look to sweep up this endgame with our Noctowl. That Jumpluff can do nothing, as they do top left. My goodness, this team number 1, was quite strong. Good game, well played. Had a lot of fun with those bonus battles, but we now move into the featured set of the video, and we are met with yet another Medicham mirror matchup here. So the way I like to play these out is I stay in a little bit to see who wins CMP tie, and if this happens, them winning CMP tie, I will look to catch the next move onto Gfisk. Doing that seems to be the best approach. If we win CMP tie, we of course stay in. And they do let our Psychic go through. So now what we will look to do is get off this Ice Punch, really put the pressure on them, and then try and catch their move onto our Gfisk. But we don't. We don't catch that, unfortunately. And I thought about shielding this. I really did. But I was thinking, there's no way they're running Psychic Dynamic Punch. I should have known when they went past the potential Ice Punch, and I really did want to shield it, but I just give these opponents way too much credit. It's unfortunate, so yeah. It turns out no shielding that was a bad idea, and I really should have just gone with my gut and shielded that up. But I give these people too much credit, unfortunately, and it is not looking good, because it's likely that they have something that can beat our Noctowl in the back. So we're going to try our best. You never know. Going to try. We do have the shield advantage, and I have pulled off some miracles with Noctowl up a shield. So we're going to try and make do here. We're going for the Sky Attack, and we will tank this next Sky Attack. We know that opposing Medicham is quite low. So hoping that with a relatively healthy Noctowl up a shield, we can maybe make something happen. We cannot. It's a Powder Snow A9, and we promptly save everyone some time and top left. Good game to them. Had a lot of fun with this modified version of team number 1 from my top 5 best teams. And here we go, Noctowl lead. And because we're running Ice Punch, we can actually stay in here to put the pressure on this opposing Noctowl. So we're going to go for this Ice Punch. They usually tank the first one, as they know that they can. So what we're going to try to do is catch a Sky Attack onto our Gfisk, but we cannot quite do it. They had to be at 100 energy or very close. They were holding onto that energy for dear life. Good on them for that. So they meet our Gfisk with a Medicham, and it is running Power Up Punch, so we do have to play with that in mind. Gonna go for this EQ. They usually let that go, as they know that they can tank it. And if they're running Power Up Punch, you will not make it to a second EQ. If they're running Ice Punch, you can, but the boosted counters will not allow you to get to a second EQ. So we know that, so we're just gonna go for the Rock Slide. Any chip damage is better than no chip damage. That's what I always say. And Gfisk has put in the work on this Medicham, getting it into the red. So now what we're going to look to do, knowing that they don't have, it's not likely that they do have Ice Punch. They're running Pup. We can farm down and not have to worry about getting hit with super effective damage. They've got a Reggie in the back, so what we're going to do is aggro swap back into our Medi to draw back out that Noctowl. We knew that we banked a ton of energy, so the play here now is to grab a shield advantage for Noctowl. I know that Noctowl up a shield can work wonders up against Registeel, so that's the play. That's why we did what we did here. We knew that we could really put the pressure on this Noctowl and either take it out or grab shields. We grab the shields, we're fine with that. We can let Medi go and let Noctowl go to work here. They will take us out with a Sky Attack, and what we're going to do, we've got energy, we're going to farm this thing all the way down to Funky Town. We know that we need 3 Shadow Balls to take out that Registeel. We've got 1.5 here. And we do win CMP tie. So we're going for Shadow Ball number 1. This Registeel has no shields. And we will slowly but surely try our very best to take out this Registeel. We get the Shadow Ball number 2. We know that we're going to need 1 more. And we know that they are going to make it to a move. But that's why we preserved the shield for Noctowl here. That was what we saw as our win condition. So all we have to do, shield up the Zap Cannon. There's no way on earth that they are farming us down before we get to the Shadow Ball. We get to the Shadow Ball. We did get the attack drop, but guys, we are about to say bye-bye to the Registeel. Holy smokes. Noctowl putting in the work. We were up a shield. We preserved that shield, allowing Noctowl to shine in the end. Good game, well played. My goodness, how about Noctowl taking over that last game? And here we go, Altaria lead again. Why, having Ice Punch is quite nice on Medicham. You can really put the pressure on Altaria, and they know that, guys. They give up switch advantage, anticipating the Ice Punch. That is absolutely fine. We've got just the answer to this in the back in the form of our own Noctowl. You'd love to see it. That's the power of Medicham. When you can run the right moveset on it, you force dragons, flying dragons, to give you switch advantage. What a beautiful thing. So we do tank that, and gonna look to take out the Sableye here and have some energy remaining along with some health to really put the pressure on likely the Altaria that may come back in. The Altaria does have energy, and so do we. So we're gonna go for the Sky Attack here and slowly but surely chip away. They will have to throw a move. There's no way that they can farm us down. We're getting to another Sky Attack. They have yet to throw their energy. I don't know what they're waiting for. But that is fine. We will gladly do as much damage as we can. We aggro swap into our G-Fisk. They still have yet to throw a move on that Altaria. And they have an Azumarill in the back. So this is okay. Shields are still up on both ends. We know that we outpace. We just cannot afford to let a potential Hydro Pump through. That would be lights out for us. So we will shield. They usually go right for it. It's a very risky bait to go for a play rough bait or a nice ice beam bait, something like that. And we do correctly shield up the Hydro Pump. Gonna go for yet another EQ. They did shield the first one, and they shield the second one. So very interesting. We will shield up their next move as well. Likely another Hydro Pump. They really need to take out this G-Fisk. So we are just going to overload. Switch clocks are up. We were anticipating that they would try and catch our EQ onto their Altaria. Not going to happen. Instead, we're going to take it out with a Rock Slide and still have some energy to spare on our G-Fisk. We do take out the Altaria there and going to aggro swap back into our Noctowl and try to get to a move, but they do throw their energy. That is fine. We are very close to an EQ. They can try and escape the EQ as much as they want, but there's no running anymore as Azumarill is the final Pokemon. We were 2 mud shots off. Just going to throw with optimal timing. We throw on 4 of our mud shots, and we do get to this EQ. It's going to do big damage on the Azumarill, and yeah, we're looking good here. This Azumarill will only get to 1 move. We live 1 of whatever this Azumarill throws, most likely the Play Rough. We do live that. Medicham is an absolute beast, and they top left as they were all out of potential catches, and we were going to take out the Azu. Good game, well played. Oh, this team number 1, really, really solid, guys. And here we go, especially when you get a lead like this. Berserker, very spicy lead. They aggro swap into a Shadow Dragonair. And we had a solid answer to it, a steel type in the form of Galarian Stunfisk. It does have access to Aqua Tail, but we definitely tank one Aqua Tail. And we know that Dragonair is quite squishy, so we're actually going to bait with a Rock Slide. Seeing how fast they swapped, I had a feeling they wanted to maybe flip switch, but no, they called the bait. And I saw how much damage that Rock Slide did, so I said, hey, to heck with it. We're just going straight Rock Slide. If we do that, we do outpace. And gonna go for the Rock Slide here and look to take out this Dragonair and flip switch with our G-Fisk here. We will shield up the Aqua Tail to flip switch and go for the Rock Slide here. Now, of course, this would KO. If they want to give us shield advantage, they do. By all means, we'll take that. We will take that gladly. No problemo. We will absolutely take the shield advantage. Gonna look to farm down with our Noctowl here. They had a Berserker, which is very interesting. You don't see those very often. That is quite spicy. And they do come back in with the Berserker. So this is absolutely fine. This is the power of Noctowl. That Berserker is very squishy. It has no shields, and we can hit this thing for big neutral damage. And they have to debuff themselves to do any meaningful damage here. And they are doing basically no damage with their Shadow Claw fast move pressure. So we are fine to no shield. It is the close combat, and they have debuffed themselves, so we will take them out with a resisted Sky Attack, and we will see what they have in the back. We say bye-bye to the Berserker, and they've got a Medi in the back, so this is okay. We're just going to try and get in as much super effective wing attack damage as we can. They do have the energy lead, but we have the shield advantage. They're going to have to bait, so we know that. We're going to call this bait. It's an Ice Punch bait, and they realized it was lights out for them, as they do promptly top left. Good game, well played. Oh, that was a spicy one in that last battle, but we got that one done in the end. And here we go, Basti lead. You'd love to see it if you lead Benny, and they safe swapped their own Medi, so this is actually the advice that I give if you're going to run the Bastiodon Medicham core. You kind of have to safe swap Medi these days. You used to be able to safe swap Sableye in the classic version, or Victory Bell is an option as well. But yeah, I give the advice whenever I'm asked, you got to safe swap Medi. In this meta, there are just too many Noctowls. So that is fine. And if they do that, you stay in, guys. If you haven't noticed already, we're not swapping out either. And the reason why is because they're trying to bait out the Noctowl so that they can farm it all the way down with their Bastiodon. So whenever you're faced with a Basti lead, they safe swap their Medi, you stay in and you play out the mirror matchup. Because you have to get rid of the Medicham, as G-Fisk, even down on shields, will do very well against what is likely left in the back. It could be Sableye. It could be Shadow Vic. Those are the two most common pairings with these two Pokemon, being Medicham and Basti. So we are playing out the 2 shield, and they edge us out, but that is fine, guys. Medi put in the work. Job well done. We've got another answer to Basti, and we can get ahead on energy with our G-Fisk. They're not making it to another move. And it's a Sableye, so it's the classic version of this Basti Medicham core with the Sableye safe swap. We were fine either way, whether it be Shadow Vic or Sableye, because G-Fisk performs quite well against either one of those when shields are down. We get off that big EQ, and we will need a Rock Slide to take this thing out. And we will survive with enough health to still put in work against that Basti. They try to catch, but it will not help them one bit. That is fine. They can catch this all they want, guys. We will still make it to an EQ. There's no way in any universe that they are farming us down. We do get to this EQ. It's going to do massive super effective damage to the Basti. Doesn't quite KO. But if they try to farm us down, they will not be successful because our mud shots would take them out, forcing them to throw, which sets Noctowl up to just clean up. We farm down with a couple or maybe a few wing attacks, and that Sableye can do nothing to Noctowl as they do. Realize that in top left. My goodness. Oh, you love to see it. So that is the team, my friends. Like I said, a slightly modified version of team number 1 from my top 5 best teams for the Great League. In the original top 5 best teams video, I had Lickitung in the place of Noctowl, but like I said at the beginning of this video, Lickitung has seen better days. it really does struggle in the current meta with all of the Noctowls running rampant. So we made a minor tweak. We put Lickitung on the bench in favor of Noctowl, and you guys saw the teams absolutely puts in work. Very solid team to rack up some wins in the Great League. But guys, I had a blast. I hope you all enjoyed. As always, I thank you for watching, and keep up the grind. Thank you, guys.